Good afternoon, students. This is Professor Estrada with your Week 5 video audio lecture for the course of American Literature, Section 2. I'm excited that we are already halfway through the course. We're strutting into the last couple of weeks, and I am now going to be recording and showing you what's in the Week 5 online folder, Part 1 and Part 2. Okay, and so we'll start off first and foremost on the home page with the left side tab, looking at announcements, due dates, all of which you were always accessible to, and oftentimes they are also sent to your student email. We also have on the right side tab my email, as it always has been available to you, and then of course just reviewing the modules that are below it, the work to do and the calendar. Paying attention to the fact that while these are great, you can go in and click on them, they often don't give you any preface or background information or context as to why you're doing these. Sometimes they will have the correct due date as it is stated in the syllabus, but oftentimes they will give you the extra 4 days that you are allowed. So with that in mind, we always have to make sure that we are looking at an assignment to what the syllabus may say. So I'm going to click on the content folder and let's get started with the Week 5 Part 1 and Part 2 lecture slides. So as always, I'm recording this a couple of days in advance, so I'm actually recording this on Thursday, April 16th, whereas the calendar due date for the course won't start until Monday, April 20th. So I'm actually recording this a couple of days in advance for you. And so I'm really excited, so that way you have this if you like to work early and just kind of look ahead in what the folder is. We also have to understand the fact that while I record this early, these little emoticons won't show up until you see it. You'll be able to have full access to these folders. They just say that you can't see this until I open the folder. I'm just opening them up early for you. And so we have the Week 5 folder. Let me go ahead and show you on the right side tab. It says the Week 5 video lecture, which you're going to see right now. And it says to complete Quiz 4, Week 4, Day 2 works, which is you're going to go back into the Week 4, Day 2 folder, and you're going to review those stories and then take a quiz over it. And then we have an assignment called Significance of a Title. The instructions are PDF and doc right here for you, but that its due date is not until Week 6, Day 2. That is where you will find the submission module. I've only included the instructions in this folder for you. And it says this specific assignment is not due until Sunday, May 3rd. Yay for that. There's also no lecture slides for this particular day, and there's no assigned readings. Okay. And so we have, if something were to be due, such as the quiz, it follows a Week 5, Day 1 content, which is Sunday, April 26th, and then it just tells you that the calendar on the homepage may tell you that you are allowed up to 4 extra days. So I'm going in. And this is right here. It tells you Quiz 4, which is Week 4, Day 2 stories. Let me click on that real quick so that way you have it. And you should have accessibility the second that I open this. It says that you're going to review and take a quiz over Week 4, Day 2 poems. And you'll have 30 minutes to complete it. And you'll be given 2 attempts. Okay, I'm closing this out. So that way we can fixate on the other thing that's in the folder. So I have the assignment instructions for Significance of a Title as a Word doc and a PDF. Okay, so I'm opening it up. I think this is the Word doc. Okay, so I'm opening it up, and this is what the assignment instructions are. So the module will be found in another folder. It says, in a reading or work, the title of the story is the first impression. And we're going to be looking at titles of works found within our course and others for this assignment. It says people make a first impression with appearance, wardrobe, and body language. Stories do it with a title. A title creates anticipation, expectation, or disinterest. Often the title is what will determine if a story is even read. Directions. Answer each section accordingly. Each will ask for a specific objective. Be sure to include web links, quotes, or the sentence requirement if needed. All right. So section 1, it says definition and purpose of a title. So we're looking at the significance of a title, just as the assignment says. So question 1 says, using the web, copy and paste or type out a definition of the word title. It can be the simplest definition, such as a Google search or one taken from a dictionary. Just whatever definition pops out or stands out with the word title, and you'll put it right here. But because I also included this as a Word doc and or PDF, you're going to use one of these and make your own copy. Whenever you reach there and you have questions, please let me know. Some people may find it complicated to be able to do both or recreate a copy, but I included this one so that you can make edits. Statement number 2 says, using the web, find a website or online web page that discusses or states the purpose of what a title does and copy the sentence or few from the website below. Be sure to include the website. Try not to use a website that ends in .com, so use a website ending in .gov, .org, or .edu. So you can actually go into Google and just say, what does a title do? And use any website that appears as long as it ends in one of these three, and just write whatever it says. And if you can, please possibly add down here the web page that it comes from. Just copy and paste that thing. And then it says section 2, themes of titles. Okay? Using only one author from week 4, day 2 through week 6, day 1, write their name below and list at least 4 to 6 of their works. So you're going to find an author within these time frames and write their name below, but then include works that they've written. It could be works that we've covered in class or works outside of what we don't know. This can include novels, titles of short stories or poems, or even anything that the author has written in their lifetime, even if it's works that we did not cover in class. You do not have to anything else. Just list the titles. For example, Emerson, you'll write his name and then anything that he's written. 4 to 6 of those works. And then it says from those titles of what that person wrote. So if Emerson wrote 3 essays and a short story, you'll look at those titles. And then it says select a title that sounds the most interesting or promising, even if you have read the work before. The objective here is to look between the lines and focus on the title. Give a response of 3 to 4 complete sentences as to why you think that title matters. Is it catchy? Is it suspicious? In short, what does the title give off regarding feelings or emotions? List the title below and response based off the judgment or feeling you receive from it. Okay? And then we have section 3. It says the opinions of titles. Looking at previously read works from the entire semester of this course thus far, list 3 titles in each category below. No explanation is needed. You're just listing titles. So from all the works in the entire course, fill in the categories. Explore all the works from weeks 1 through week 6, part 2. 3 titles that are simple, bland, basic. Put them right here. 3 titles or stories or works that are appealing or interesting, just off the title. Just write them right there. Memorable titles, and put them right there. Okay? And then we have section 4. It says the works that we have looked at within the course often focus on theme or style to drive their work forward. Even so, we utilize and critique many works to this day, especially in American literature. Search the folders in the works we have looked at and categorize a title from each period. Just the title is needed. So the best title of a work from the realism, naturalism period, and they go within their folders and syllabus. The best title from the modernism period. The best title from the contemporary period. And if you need help, the syllabus does well to indicate which movement is found in which folder, but the folder lecture also have those as well, the lecture slides. Okay. Step 2, from the many works that you have covered, the title can be the most misleading or the idea of why it is enjoyable to read. Choose one author from the entire semester and discuss a work in which the title is the key element as to why it's famous, exceptional, or mostly well known. Think of a work that is famous only for its title and describe why it is well known or why it should be considered a classic text to study. Okay, and that's it. And then it's due Sunday, May 3rd. And I'm closing out of it. And as you've noticed, I included it as a Word doc or PDF in whichever way you would like to start editing it. Okay, and then I'm going into the week 5 folder, part 2. In this folder, you have the following. We have the story Why I Live at the P.O. by Eudora Welty and the audio. We also have another story called Cathedral by Raymond Carver and the audio. And then I'm including discussion board number 6 called A Writer's Edge. I'm really excited about this one, and the word count link. There's also no lecture slides for this particular day or section. And then it also includes that the week 5 day 2 content is due Sunday, April 26th as well. and that it includes the 4 extra added days. So while I go into this, I'm going to show you exactly what it said. It said Why I Live at the PO as a text and audio, Cathedral as text and audio. We also include the word count link that will help you count your words for your discussion boards if you need that as a resource. And then I'm opening up discussion board number 6. Discussion board number 6 says, after reading Why I Live at the PO and Cathedral, I want you to answer the following questions. Your post overall should be at least 200 words, but if your sentence or your question requires a specific sentence or two, be sure to adhere to that. It's going to ask specific questions pertaining to 1, 2, or both stories, and or the lecture slides. Okay? And then let's look at these questions specifically. Question 1 says, Why I Live at the PO. Consider the narrator of this story. Was this story easy to follow because of her stream of thought, or was it difficult due to her quick movement? What did you like about the narrator? Question 2, Cathedral. In what ways does the story show methods of communication or connection? Think or find 2 examples and list them below. You are welcome to use direct quotes or statements mentioned from the story. Question 3, using the lecture slides and text. Referring to the lecture slides of week 4, day 2, and both stories listed here, which story best represents the contemporary period and why? You're welcome to glean from the lecture notes to use, such as integrating keywords or literary approaches that are discussed to help support your claim. Question 4, the listed stories touch base on human connection, relationships, and life. Why do you think it is important for the contemporary period to explore diversity through stories? From poems, essays, diaries, stories, novels, etc., which form of writing do you think truly encompasses the contemporary period? Okay, and after you answer these, I would like you to... That's it. This one says just your post is just it. So you don't even have to reply to other people with this one. Yay for that. So you're just doing your own post. That's awesome. This one, we go forward and we don't even have to do step 2, which is usually responding to people. So if it says to not respond to people, then you don't have to worry about that one. Okay? And then to start a new thread, you just start your new thread. You can do it in whatever font or whatever color you would like, as long as it's legible by me. And again, because this is the only thing in the folder, it does say that there's no lecture slides for week 5, part 2, as well as week 5, part 1. Okay? And if you have any questions at any time, please let me know. I can always be reached at aestrada@hillcollege.edu.